Welcome to Washington. I'm Ashley Burke with the National Mining Association, and you're watching NMA TV. This is an episode of Mining Policy Report. My guest today is an integral part of what is likely our country's most pro-coal administration in history. He grew up in Pennsylvania, and before his time with the administration, ran his own small business and also ran successful real estate, land management, and oil field services ventures. In the first Trump administration, he served as the Pennsylvania State Director for the Department of Agriculture. And now he's back with the second Trump administration, this time as Acting Assistant Secretary in DOE's Hydrocarbons and Geothermal Energy Office, where he's focused on all things energy and energy technology related. On coal, he has said recently, quote, "With the war on coal over, we're ensuring coal remains a reliable, affordable energy source that keeps our communities powered and our economy strong." And he's leading a number of efforts to achieve just that. Assistant Secretary Coccodrilli, welcome to NMA TV, and thank you for joining Mining Policy Report.
Oh, thank you so much, Ashley, and thanks to the NMA for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Let's get started first with a little bit about the mission of Department of Energy right now and of your office specifically. What can you tell me?
HGEO is the Hydrocarbons and Geothermal Office, formerly fossil energy. Our primary focus is R&D, and we have the National Energy Technology Labs associated with us, the three facilities. But we're an R&D facility for all the hydrocarbons. So we have oil, gas, LNG permitting, coal, and geothermal.
So specific to coal, it's really enjoying a renaissance here in the U.S. and even globally. And I want to hear a little bit from you about the policies and actions that your office and the Department of Energy have taken to make that possible, and also to ensure that U.S. coal is available for export to our allies.
Sure. Primarily, that we're to stabilize, optimize, and grow the coal fleet. So when we came into office, we had approximately 204 coal plants of various sizes and shapes and megawatts across the U.S. Our mission has been, number one, to stabilize that from decreasing in the advent of the draw on power. And look at no other place than PJM, right, where we are, to look at how important that is in the age and advent of hyperscalers, moving fiber out into the country to remain competitive. So our main goal has been to optimize, or stabilize, optimize, and grow the fleet. And the only way you can do that is with reliable coal, clean coal, big, beautiful coal. President talks about it all the time. Secretary Wright is hyper-focused on this. We get it right down the chain of command from our DepSec to our undersecretary. All day, every day is how do we help the fleet? How do we help the consumer? How do we help affordability? And coal is the base for all of that. Not only is it base load, but is the absolute basis of our energy portfolio.
And I think one of the things that a lot of Americans probably don't understand is that we were on a really negative trajectory with those coal plant closures. And if that had intersected with this demand that we're seeing, you know, if we had continued on that regulatory path, what would have happened?
The grids would have collapsed across the country. And it's tough enough now when you have the draw, such high draw on demand from weather events. We had Winter Storm Fern that happened. I mean, a classic example. The heat wave we had over the 4th of July. I mean, the stresses we had last week on MISO. So all of these things add up as a warning sign to keep big, beautiful, clean coal as our firming, our ramping, our base, and our peak power.
And you're not just focused on the U.S., I know, because you were part of a group that brought over a delegation from India, and they were just in our offices 2 weeks ago. You're helping facilitate the export of coal to our allies, correct?
Correct. And it's a big focal point for us at DOE, is to keep those our allies happy, and to keep our mines mining, our communities thriving in parts of the coal areas of the U.S. where we have anthracite. In Pennsylvania, we have the Powder River Basin out in Wyoming, up into Colorado and Montana, that whole swath of coal out there is just phenomenal. You have the whole base of the Appalachia, all the places within the country that we have these processes. We are trying to show our folks in the advent of AI build out, they know that they need this as well to remain competitive. So what are they doing? Coming to the U.S. saying, we want to buy your coal. Whether it's for coking, metallurgical, steel, cement, or whether it's thermal. And the markets are, maybe I think 2008 we had 1.1 billion short tons mined. We're down to 560 some, I think, as of 2024. And the goal is to stabilize and grow that market. When you grow that market, you grow the economy in these small towns that I've been blessed to see throughout the U.S. Over the course of the last year and a half. Countries like India, they have that demand. Countries like South Korea were here before India. They have that demand, and they talk often about how to stabilize that in the advent of Indonesia scaling back their exports. We have American companies that have assets in Australia. I can't tell you how many conversations we had with South Korea, with Taiwan, with the Philippines, Vietnam. They're market driven to U.S. coal. We have a product that they want. We marry up, which I didn't even know. It's pretty funny that they marry up specific mines in the U.S. to their boilers. So the boilers are manufactured with U.S. expertise and technical expertise to the specific mine in Montana. It's really interesting when you get down into the weeds of how the coal from a very specific geographic region is married to a very specific boiler system at a plant in South Korea. So those were little nuanced things that people don't understand how cooperative we are with these companies or the countries, and they want our product.
Right, with you all bringing those two, the buyer and our sellers together, it's good for them, it's great for our economy, and so it's a win-win situation for everyone. Finally, I want to turn to the National Coal Council.
Yes.
I know you were part of their second meeting that they recently had here in Washington, but this is an advisory group that of industry professionals and experts who advise the Department of Energy on coal policy. It was disbanded under the Biden administration.
Yes, it was.
Brought that back together. Why is that group important, and what are they working on now?
Primary focus of the president, the administration, the National Energy Dominance Council, Secretary Wright. We talk frequently, and you're about to get, here is our two reports, hot off the press. Literally, we just got these this morning.
Fantastic.
So I can't wait to rifle through them. These are for you guys to have here.
Great.
But those reports were critical. The Biden administration did all they could to bring chaos into the grid. I don't think it was purposeful, but they just had a different policy vein. It was intermittent renewable. Well, we've learned over and over and over that you cannot keep that pace without giving something up. And the fact is we had to secure and add, I think, 17 gigawatts of power, 35 gigawatts in additional generation can happen, and the goal would be 100 gigawatts in the next 5 years. And the secretary talks about this all the time. But the results of the Coal Council are right here. They were tasked to produce the two reports, one on the reliability of the grid, what opportunities are out there on the stabilization, on the optimization, and on the growth. We just announced two new coal builds in the DPA funding, one in Alaska and one in West Virginia. So to grow that fleet and get the latest and greatest technology and supercritical boilers to marry that up. There's no reason that we can't add coal plants in this day and age. The other report is on the outlook and opportunities for U.S. export market. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of investigation into this. Right now, we've announced the Oakland terminal. with the $75 million award that is really critical to our allies in Asia and Southeast Asia. And that market can grow and grow. But looking everywhere from Alaska all the way down to the tip of Baja in Mexico on how we can get great coal product to our friends and allies that want it.
Right, the Asian markets are so important and we
Yes.
need more ways to get to them.
100% agree.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for the common sense policies that you're bringing to help make affordable and reliable energy possible in this country and for our allies around the world. We really appreciate
Well,
you.
our DOE team is fantastic at reminding us daily about what our mission is. It's affordability and it's accountability to the taxpayer. And we have a great president who parrots that message, and we parrot his message. And our secretary just tells us all the time and reminds us how important it is to always keep the ratepayer in mind when we do all of our research and development asks. But thank you, Ashley, and thanks to the NMA.
Yes, and thank all of you for joining us for this episode of Mining Policy Report. We hope you'll follow us on the National Mining Association's channels as well as on Minerals Make Life, and count on coal for more in mining policy.